been trying to be consistent, and I try to consider and make this like a daily morning exercise. Just recording myself practicing some functional programming, and this video, which I have to admit, I don't really feel like doing. I kind of want to take a break, but why not just try to maintain a habit? This video, I am going to do the partial implementation of a profile editor view model for this Nikeza mobile. Yes. So if I share my screen, come here, screen. I'm gonna share you. Yes. Come here. Present to everybody, man. Okay, so I'm sharing my screen. Yesterday, I recorded a video on this portal.recent view model that I constructed yesterday. I even wrote a test over here, call it latest. Maybe I should call you recent. Maybe I should call you recent. Test like that. Maybe I should call you recent module like that. Yes. And that was pretty simple, and that demonstrated quote unquote dependency injection. You inject this stuff into the view model. Same here. Yes. This mock recent is an actual function, which is essentially this right here. Yeah. Right. So all this is based off of, oh, I guess I could kill you right now. All this is, what's this right here? I guess I could kill you right now. All this is based on this Nikeza.io web application that I am porting to a mobile application. All right. And the server's taking a long time to return it. Why is the server taking a long time to return Nikeza.io? It's making me nervous. And making work visible with Dominica de Grandes. Okay, so anyway, this is Nikeza.io. This is a web app that I built, in which I wanted to learn Elm, which is a functional programming language that's focused on building web applications without JavaScript. Hence, it compiles down to JavaScript, but as you program, you don't rely on JavaScript. It will actually distill your Elm programming language when compiled will distill down into JavaScript. And so that was an exercise for me. Even after doing this, I still don't like web development. If I log in, got that Nimrod, bizmonger.net. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. You log in, there's I could click on this profile link in the upper right. And this is my profile editor view, right? So I can edit my first name, last name, email address. And there's a list of topics that I can say that I want featured based on the content that I produce, whether it's podcasts, blog posts, videos, or answers to questions. And so, for example, still got to figure out how to resolve this latency right here with suggested topics, because this is like 10 seconds and it's still, man, where's the auto suggest? It's not showing up. Yeah, wow, that's like 15 seconds. I still got to figure out how to speed this up, because that was way too long. But anyway, this is the profile editor. And, I could add architecture as a tag. And, well, why not? If I save it, I can also edit sources, but I'm not going to focus on that right now. Right now, it's just editing a profile. So that's the web application, and well, I'm porting that to a mobile application. I said yesterday that I did the portal.recent view model. Today I'll write some code. I'll do a partial implementation for, we'll call it portal dot profile view model. So it's really portal.profile editor view model. And I don't know if I should put a, yeah, why not? Doesn't matter. Okay. This portal.profile editor view model, I should probably say module is, how's this work? Okay, it's a dot mobile dot UI logic dot portal, maybe? I don't know. What convention did I use over here for recent? Portal.recent. Okay. So portal.profile editor. Then down here we say type view model, something like that. Class equal. And say member X. This view model is going to have first name equals something like that. Okay. And we do the same thing with, come here. Last name, email address, something like that. And something like this. Okay. Those are the fields that take strings. There's also a topics, which is going to be a list. Because it's a view model, it's an observable collection, but I'll worry about that later. Okay. And yeah, first name, last name, email, topics, and then there's like a save command that's on there. So we say, how does this work? Say member x dot save command equals delegate command, something like that. And we're just going to take a function and just want to do something. And going to also take another function that should ultimately, in order to save something, you need to have your first name, last name, email address all filled out, right? This delegate command doesn't know what it is, but it is under my, let me make sure that this profile editor view model is in the right arrangement or right compile order. And it's not, that's why I can't find anything. Hit my FS Proj. Okay. Now if I do that and I try to, yep. So I have my delegate command. Delegate, I should have a function up here called can save. That can save equals ViewModel as X, something like that. And I should be able to say what X dot first name equal boom boom. Say string dot is, how do you do this? Should be like say open system, and then I should be able to say string dot is null empty, or yeah, something like that. And then you pass in string value like this. And I want to say it's not, something like that. Then, okay, that's what it's talking about. Can I do that? No, it doesn't like that. Like this. Why don't you like my knots? Okay, like that. Okay. So we have can save equals not string dot is null, that null or white space. In addition to that, I want to say and not just the first name, but we want to do the last name and email address. Last name. And we want to do email, something like this. Okay. And what was this complaint? Oh yeah, I need to put an and up here. And what else? Consider using, oh, okay, so that's fine. OCD says that I should have some separation over here. Something like that, maybe. And it's all about aesthetics, man. Something like that. Okay, so we have can save, do something like that. But this should really be a actual function and not a value, which means that it returns a unit in our case. And that's it right there, okay? We don't really have to be concerned with topics. You should be able to edit a profile and not have topics that you want featured, okay? So that's it right there. This save command, we put in the can save over here, but we don't have any implementation over here. When it does save, what is it going to do? Oh, well, it's going to forward the save request to our domain model, right? Our domain model is in our profile bounded context, and we have a logic dot. No, I want to go to workflow. We have a workflow within our profile bounded context, and there is a. I don't have to worry about submit registration. There's a edit here, and then there's a workflow, and then there's a there's an edit command dot save. That's what we want to pass into our workflow function within our bounded context. Okay. So how would that work? Well, let me see. We first need to make sure that we have a dependency on our profile bounded context, and we do. It's right. Yeah, it's right there. So theoretically, I should be able to do something like this, where I say let save equal, and then there's like a, what do we call this over here? It's called an edit command dot save, right? Edit command dot save. We want to pipe that into this workflow of our profile, which isn't showing up in here. This is, I should update this module to be nikeza.mobile.profile. In. Okay. That's going to break some things. Me updating the module path. In my view model, I say open that path. So I say, what are you talking about, Willis? If I just right click on here and try to build, I expect to get some compilation errors. But that built. Okay, well, that surprised me. Nikeza.mobile.profile in. Something else I want to do is, no, let's show for a minute. This edit command should be recognized. Okay, that's fine. This workflow is not being recognized, but it should. Edit dot workflow, something like that. Okay. And what we're, so that workflow is accepting, collapse this. This workflow right here, it takes a, here's the edit workflow right here that it complies with. And it says that it takes the edit command and returns a profile event list. So in our view model, we have our edit command, which is save. And that looks like it should be okay, but it says that type mismatch, data transfer dot validate profile, edit command, but given just an edit command. So let me see. Oh yeah. So the save, we need to provide a validated profile right here. So what we need to do is we need to have more than likely let validated equals let's say profile, which is going to be a validated profile. That's the type. And right now it's going to be none. Okay. So there's an option, none. So in order for us to save a profile, that profile must be validated. Okay. So with that said, we do a pattern match on the profile by saying profile function, and we ask if you are, how do I want to do this? Profile function, we want to say, are you some validated, boom. And then if it is, then we can say validate it like that. And you would think that that would be okay. Put it in the wrong spot. Something like this. Okay. And do that. And if it's none, then we don't do anything. Something like that. That's going to return when we call this workflow that we're tossing a save command to, it's going to return a list of domain events. With the list of domain events, we want to publish open Nukeza mobile UI logic publisher, and we want to publish those events occurred. I need to define event occurred. Maybe up here, let event occurred. I don't know how to spell though. Equal events. Anything like that. Okay. It says it's not defined because this has 2 R's and this one only has 1 R. No, you still don't like it. Event occurred. Why don't you like it? It says not gonna, this publish takes it takes a list of let me go over here. Publish takes event occurred as the first argument, and it takes events as a second, and that's what I have. This workflow is a profile event list. This events is a list. That should work. While I try to troubleshoot that, I could probably, let me see if I could do this right here. Get rid of, I want to do something like this. Okay. It says the type unit, oh, because it's talking about, no, this should be fine. This publish events, that, yeah, that returns a unit. And this none returns a unit. So now what? This workflow is events.profile event list. Says that A is an object. No, A is a profile event list. Or it's a list of profile events. The type unit and then event A is not compatible with. Okay, so does that mean that event occurred is let me go into as events. This is profile event. So is that what I need to do right here? Profile event. And I shouldn't have to do that. It's not compatible with the type profile event. Well, where do you? I don't know. All right, so let me see how my other view model did this. My other view model publish. This is portfolio event. I say new event up here. That's what I did over here. So I don't think I need to do that. What I probably left out was this unit up here. That's what I left out. Right? Because before I just said, yeah, that's why. Okay. Okay. So I have save, which will take a profile, it will pattern match on that profile. And if it's sum, it will take, if that profile is validated, which is over here, which means that I can probably get rid of this type here. Validated, then I call this edit command.save. In edit workflow and publish the event occurred. Okay, and that looks fine. Okay, so mental note is whenever I declare an event, the event is it's an instance, right? I need to add the empty constructor to the end of it, and that's why I was getting that error. So mental note, remember that next time you see that error. Okay, so now what? Well, so we did the save. The save can only be executed if we have a validated profile. Hence, if there's no validated profile, it does nothing, which is right here. This can save over here will not only check to see if all the fields are in here, but it needs to mutate this profile value. So this needs to be mutable. Okay. And bring it back. Our can't save will actually result in a side effect in which it will mutate this profile member up here, which means that we say can't save says if not if not if not if these fields are not empty, then you can save. So say if not, say then let's mutate this profile to be some, and then we gotta basically fill in the fields of this profile, such as first name, should say, yeah, whatever. First name equals x dot first name, and do the same thing over here. Last name equals x dot last name, something like that. And email equals x dot email, something like that. And whatever else is in the profile. Profile is here. It's first name, last name, bio, email, image URL, sources, ID, which arguably ID is not going to be used. And the book, Domain Driven Design Made Functional, says that you should really have two different types because the ID is only relevant when it comes from a data store. In this case, there is no data store, so we're kind of like brute forcing an ID that doesn't match the domain context. And so that's what the book says. But for right now, I'm going to cut a corner, which I know is wrong because I'm a purist. ID equals I don't know, something like that. Bio equals that email. We already did email. Go back. Ah, shoot. Go back. Email we did already. Image URL is empty. Sources is empty. Okay. It says it doesn't like ID. ID is not defined. Okay, so what are you talking about, Willis? Hold up. ID. That's it. What else is it talking about? Open indicates a comment. Okay. All right. So that's our profile. Now this is complaining. So what's okay. Let me add this validated back. Okay. Okay. This validated profile takes a record type of profile. So theoretically, it's some like profile equals and it'll look something like this. Am I doing this right? Some profile equals, it's supposed to look like this. Something like that. Okay. And now what? Oh yeah, we need to align these values over here. And the compiler appears to be happy. Okay. Okay. So we say, if not all these fields are empty, not sure if it's and or, then we say, we mutate our profile and say, oh yeah, and we need to return true. Say some, we say true. Else, false. Something like that. Okay. Now this looks pretty messy. Can I do Control RM? No. Say, I don't know, call this foo right now. And something like that. And I say, actually, bring this back. That. And then I say, foo equals okay. Okay. And let's say let foo equals. And this is actually called, we'll call this foo refresh. Refresh state. And to exercise how cool I am about F# syntax, something like that. Okay. That's that. Open save. And open that. And can I build? Maybe I should put a little break in here. All right, that makes me a little bit happy. And I have some errors. That and registration succeeded has no clue what that is. This registration succeeded, which is in my registration test, is actually part of my Nikeza mobile profile events, which I'm surprised I don't have that in here. Nikeza mobile profile, yeah, that's right here. So I have a compile there that's the expression was expected to have type object, but here has registration event. Okay, why am I getting this? I have a event that's of type object. Event occurred. Where is this defined at? Let's fill in, takes this model. Okay, this is getting on my nerves. Need to look for, all this is in registration. So look for this registration. There should be event occurred over here. Registration submission event. That's right here. And so this is complaining about the expression was expected to have type object, but here has registration event. Okay. So I'm not sure how that worked. Let's change this up and say, well, this event occurred is a member. Of course, it's not letting me go in there. But if I go to the registration view model over here, there should be a member that's right here. That's of type registration submission event. And it's saying that this event occurred, event handler, object to object. Why is this breaking all of a sudden? Oh no, this is probably going to take me some time to figure out, which means I probably need to end the video. This Nikeza.mobile.profile events, that is being ignored. Okay, why is that being ignored? If I go back over here, Nikeza mobile profile events. If I do something like that, yeah, so I gotta figure out this error. Anyway, I'm gonna terminate this video because I don't want to spend the next 15 minutes trying to figure out how to resolve that error. But so far, we have this profile editor view model that I worked on. I implemented the can save, which during MVVM, when you execute a command, the first thing that it's going to do is see if that command can be executed, which that command is defined right here in the save command, which I call can save up here. This can save is going to basically check to see if the fields are filled out. And if they're filled out, then it's going to call a refresh state that mutates the state of a member variable. And I say variable because it's mutable, called profile. And if all the fields are provided, then we have some profile, which is, where am I at? Refresh state. If I open up this right here, we'll basically assign some and then a profile over here to this member variable. And then when we want to actually execute, because can save returns true, then we can go ahead and we didn't provide the, we want to say save, save here. Okay. That save there is going to take the profile. It's going to pattern match to make sure that we have a profile, whether it's some or none. In this case, when we have a profile, it'll be some. The validated will actually represent the profile value. We say validated, edit command, well, pipes into edit command.save and edit workflow. And then the result of that, which will be a list of domain events, we publish to, in this case, we publish to any clients that are interested. The client that will be interested in that publish will more than likely be app logic up here. Not sure if it will be navigation. I don't know. But if you save, yeah, I don't know. Who cares? I'm not going to focus on that right now. But in conclusion, this is the module profile editor.ViewModel. And that's pretty much it. This compile layer for a automated test that I have is annoying me, right? Yeah, that's annoying me really bad, but I'll figure that out offline. So adios, I'm out. I'm available for hire. Mobile application development, desktop application development, test automation, backend development. Adios. Stop broadcast.